A record. A record. A record.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, politically wise, and there wasn't anything major, big news going on again this week. Just the same old crap, you know, sending billions of dollars to a corrupt country to fight another corrupt country, so whatever. You know, Biden and Camilla acting like retards. Nothing new, same old crap. What I want to talk to you about this week is I just got done watching The Amazing Race Australia. And a couple weeks ago, Amazing Race Canada finished up their run. You still got, which kind of basically just started a couple of weeks ago, the original Amazing Race, America version. I think they're at the third or fourth leg, so they're still going, and they're in like season 34 or something like that. Now they have changed things a little bit, and I'll get it to reviewing it this season when they get finished. Now Canada just did season 8. The only problem I have with Canada's version, for the most part, of this season was the fact that about halfway through the run, they had a few teams that were out due to supposedly the China virus. So they took them out of the race, right? Well, they waited till, you know, 3 or 4 legs, and then they like told them, okay, you can come back if you do this one little task, and whichever teams, you know, complete the task, the one that doesn't, you know, they're out. Their part of the race is done and over with, and they did that. Now I thought that was cheap shit, because the other teams had raced 4 legs without these teams. Now they're bringing these teams back, and they didn't have to do 4 legs. The next leg, they had them do like a speed bump. Woo! It's not the same fucking thing, not even close. So I kind of thought that was bullshit. The other thing that irritated me was the team that won. Because they did the same thing for Australia. They're now doing this thing where they're, you know, everyone's got a sob story, blah, blah, blah. Someone died, or, you know, they're going through some really hard times, blah, blah, blah. We don't need that shit in the show. We don't need all that fucked up drama. Nobody cares. Everybody's got their own problems. And it irritates me when a show does that kind of crap, to try to get you and make you feel for a freaking team. It just pisses me off. It's like, no, just tell me things that pertain to the race. You know, hey, I work in construction, so I'm going to be better at the physical attributes, stuff, you know, stuff like that. You know, what's their job, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to know all your background history or who died, who's still in the family, and, you know, oh, I had a family member who died, and he was, or it was my dad, and he helped me out, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. We don't need all that bullshit. Stop. Stop putting that shit in there. It's fucking irritating. But Canada and Australia, they both had a team member who had to battle cancer or is still battling cancer, who's terminally ill. And of course, both those teams won on Canada and Australia. Those two particular whatever. It seemed a little too coinkydink for those two teams to win. It was just, it didn't set right. Something was fishy there. But anyways, I particularly didn't care for any teams in Canada that made it to the last three, so I could care less who won by that point. With Australia, they did the same thing with the China V, but they had like half their fucking teams gone. And instead of just, hey, let's shut down the race for a couple of weeks or whatever until everybody's clear and then restart the race, they went and they made the other teams race. The other half of the teams race. And then they brought back all them fucking teams after like, you know, 3 or 4 fucking legs. And I'm like, that's bullshit. You're literally bringing them back and letting them race again while all these other teams had to fucking do legs. And all you're going to do is make them do a fucking speed bump. It's not the same fucking thing. A lot of those teams could have been knocked off instead of the teams you were knocking off that were doing the legs. It's not right. It was bullshit. Anyways, they knocked off my favorite team that way, and it pissed me off. I almost didn't want to even completely watch Australia because of that shit. It just pissed me off really bad that they did that to them. And they should have gone through. But they had this team called the Orange Team called Angela and Frankie. And Angela was a bitch. She tried to come up with a sob story about her dad, all kinds of other bullshit. She's a really nice person, blah, 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 but she'll stab you in the back in a heartbeat. Oh, we're Christians. We're not really mean. We'll take your place and shit on you. Because that's what they did to one of the teams, and it pissed me off. They did not deserve to be in that race. They did it twice. They did something shady twice to get ahead of the other teams. And I'm not talking about just regular playing the game, you know, like U-turn shit. I'm not even sure they might have had a U-turn. I can't remember. Anyways, they did some couple of shady things that really pissed me off, and they shouldn't have been in the race. They cheated the way they went about and did it. But anyways, I finished Australia because I didn't want to see them two fuckers win. I was hoping they'd get knocked out, and they did. Thank God. That's the only reason why I kept watching Australia, because I hated that team. I wanted them out. But anyways, I love Amazing Race. It's the one of the very few reality game shows I like. Because everybody gets lost all the fucking time, and you would think they would learn by now. You need to learn how to fucking read a map so you know how to get the fuck around. But no, they always ask the locals. They don't speak the same language. They get lost. And, you know, on this last one, it was that Angel and Frankie. Oh, we're millennials. We don't fucking read maps because we're stupid. We gotta have everything told to us on an app. Fuck smartphones. Smartphones, worst invention ever. I hate smartphones. Absolutely hate them. But anyways, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just, if you know you're going to have to read maps, learn to read maps before you go on the fucking show. Duh. But they never do. They never learn. Never. Anyways, that's it for the Amazing Races. Now, I also just got done watching season 2 of the show called Stargirl. I didn't even know they did a second season. I thought the show was done after the first season because it really wasn't that great of a show. And it is very teeny bopperish. I mean, you remember the 90s where Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, how god-awful teeny bopper children's shows were? Ugh, that's what this show's like. Anyways, the only reason I'm even watching it is because of Luke Wilson. I love Luke Wilson. He's a great fucking actor. I guarantee you, it's probably the #1 reason the show is even still going. Because the whole concept and idea is just dumb. You know, these little teeny boppers are supposed to be the new, you know, JSA, and it's just, okay, whatever. And they're all girls except for the one guy. It's just ridiculous. The only thing that really saves this show is the adults, except for Tigress and Sportsmaster. That's the dumbest characters on the show as far as the adults go. I can't stand those two, but whatever. I did like, however, the villain Shade. And he's not really a, you know, like an evil serial killer villain. He's more like a con artist, thief, you know, criminal type, you know. It's, you know, he's a scoundrel. You know, he thinks about himself. He's selfish. But his background story and shit was kind of cool. I was like, hey, this is actually kind of a cool villain. And I like his powers, you know. They even made Calypso, even though he's a straight up murderer, you know, he was a cool villain, you know. That's what I'm saying. The villains are really great. These new teeny bopper JSA so-called members are terrible. They're absolutely god-awful hilarious. The adults make the show. The teeny boppers, they could really get rid of them, as far as I'm concerned, because they all suck. Now, there is a couple of cringe moments. There's one scene where the black girl, you know, the chubby, don't know how to fight, black girls, you know, fending off Calypso or whatever. And she's just like, I'm proud to be black, and I'm proud to be a girl, and I don't have to fight. You go, I can still beat you, blah, 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 you know. And I was just like, really? Get the fuck out of here with that race card bullshit. Stop being racist. That whole fucking episode pissed me off. Because it was like, yeah, I'm still a badass, you know, blah, 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 even though I can't do shit. She can't. She literally can't. She don't do anything for the team. She's got them goggles, which she stole. And yet, now she's a team member. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I did think it was kind of fucked up that the Shade had kept, you know, Dr. Midnight And I don't know why they're calling him Mick Knight. It's Midnight. M-I-D, not M-C. Anyways, Dr. Midnight's trapped in the Shadow Realm this entire time, all these years. It's kind of fucked up. And the Shade didn't know anything about it? I don't know. Kind of weird. But anyways, I do like the Shade, the villain Shade. You know, he's shady. He's more of a gray area. He's not completely villain, and he's not completely good guy. You know, he kind of works in the gray area because he's not bad, but he's not, you know, good either. The CGI for fucking Golem and Grundy isn't really all that great either. I like the Grundy character, but in this show, I don't know, they really over CGI'd him, made him really cheesy looking. But otherwise, the season was okay. I just really wish they get some really decent actors to play the new JSA members, because all these characters suck, especially the Stargirl. Oh. You know, she thinks she's always right about everything, and she's absolutely, completely wrong. And she shits all over Luke Wilson's character and ignores him all the fucking time. It's irritating. It's annoying. But anyways, they started season 3. I'll get around to watching as soon as they finish it off. And then I'll give you a review on it. The season 2, if you like the villains, go ahead and watch it. You might like it, but otherwise it's really teeny bopper. It's almost like a CW kind of thing, which I think that's where it is or came from. It's on Discovery Plus now or something. I don't know. But, you know, the show's Okay, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics, this month is Horror Month. Every year, it's that time of year, and I'll be doing horror flicks reviews for the rest of the month. I'm going to try to get through the Puppet Master series and finish it off, because I've been working on it for a little while now. And now we are on the 8th and 9th movie. Puppet Master, The Legacy is number 8, and it was done in 2003. Of course, it went straight to video. There's no box office numbers. It starred Jacob Wicken and Kate Orsini. Now, this movie kind of pissed me off. It it was very annoying, very disappointing, irritating. Because what they did was they took stock footage from previous films and took like long scenes from several of the past movies and put them together as like remembrance scenes, like, you know, scenes of, you know, the past that they're talking about in this one. There's only 10 minutes of new footage in this entire film. The rest of it is past scenes from previous films, which is kind of cheap and insulting to the fans. And this one's kind of like way out of the box of the others for the most part, because in the third film, it shows Toulon helping this boy out named Pete. Now Pete loses his parents to the SS Nazis. They kill him, and Toulon kind of takes him in, takes him on the road with him for a little while. Now in this one, supposedly Pete has inherited the dolls or the puppets, but he can't quite figure out the formula. He doesn't know the secret. There's this woman who's supposedly an assassin, which is seriously a joke because she doesn't look like one. She surely doesn't really act like one. It was pretty hilarious. She was terrible at trying to pretend to be an assassin, this actress. But anyways, she claims she was hired by people of supposed Toulon's victims, because in the second one he does kind of turn evil because he's undead. But she claims that there were victims that hired her, people that are, her souls are still trapped in wooden puppet bodies or whatever, blah blah blah. And I started thinking about it, and the only movie that I could think, well, there's two actually. In the second one, there is an old woman that the puppets, after killing Toulon, the undead Toulon, they put her soul into this other wooden mannequin or whatever, and she becomes their caretaker. But they never did anything more with that story. They just kind of left it off, you know, her as a caretaker at the very end. That was it. You don't hear anything else about her. The other one was like the sixth movie, I think, or something. It's called The Curse. And the daughter of the evil puppeteer guy who's creating the puppets, or having this boy create puppets and then used his soul to animate one of the puppets or whatever. I could only think she's also talking about the daughter, or, you know, the kid who became the puppet. I don't know. But that's the only people I could think of. Everybody else was dead, you know, so that didn't make no sense. And at the very end, it shows Peter, the older Peter, you know, he raises a gun and shoots somebody coming down the stairs in this cellar that he's working in. But it doesn't show who it is, or not even a hint. But anyways, the 10 minutes footage is them reviewing these tapes that Toulon supposedly made, this assassin and the old Peter. She wants the formula because supposedly these victims of Toulon want the formula so they can stop others from getting a hold of it and using and abusing it and turning it to evil. Whatever. Anyways, they both die, I guess. I don't know. It never really shows what happens to him. But yeah, it was disappointing because, like I said, the majority of the film is just, I got bored with it pretty fast because it was just past footage from previous films. This, I 2 thumbs down. It was by far the worst, even worse than The Curse. The worst sequel yet that I've watched so far. Okay. You don't even have to watch it to figure out what's going on in the rest of the movies. There's no point in it. It was a waste of time. And kind of like a slap in the face for the fans. They got lazy on this one. Anyways, moving on. The next one was called Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. And this is actually Puppet Master number 9. It was done in 2004. It starred Corey Feldman and Vanessa Angel. Now, this is a Sci-Fi TV made movie for the Sci-Fi channel. Everybody knows, if you know Full Moon, you know the Puppet Master series, you probably know who the Demonic Toys are. Even though they've only done like 3 films of them, I think. I'm not sure how many of the Demonic Toys there are. I think it did a review on 1 or 2 of them in the past, a while back. But anyways, this kind of has a Christmas theme to it. Because the main story is Vanessa Angel is playing this woman who is a spoiled brat who has taken over her father's company. He sold his soul to this demon called Belle. Made a deal with him. Now she's carrying it out. She got the demonic toys to help her out. And what they're doing is they made duplicates of them to become real toys after Christmas Eve. And these demonic toys would kill children and take their souls. And then Bale would become one of the most powerful demons in the underworld. That sort of thing. Now, Corey Feldman and his daughter play ancestors, or descendants, sorry, not ancestors, descendants of Toulon. So they're descendants of his family, his lineage. He's like the great nephew or something of Toulon or whatever. Anyway, he inherits the puppets. He knows about the formula, but he can't seem to figure out how to get it to work properly. Now they've changed the way the formula is made again. They've done this like 3 or 4 times in all the sequels of the movies. In this one, you got to have like 2 drops of Toulon blood to make the formula and a couple other things. You know, it's got to be like boiling some type of chemicals for like 8 hours, and then you add 2 drops of Toulon blood. So anyway, they eventually figured it out, how to make the formula and how to get it to work. Now they also changed the way the puppets look in this movie. They're not using the original puppets anymore. These are completely new puppets. They don't look anything like the originals. I mean, yeah, they're similarly dressed or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you can tell right off the bat, these are not the puppets that you're used to seeing. Especially the way they just don't look anything like the original puppets. He also adds upgrades to the puppets. Like 6-shooter now is like this cyborg looking character with laser guns. You know, he gave Jester a Morning Star, and you know, Pinhead's got, you know, metal arms and hands instead of regular wooden ones. You know, you get what I'm saying. But anyways, they have to go and stop this Angel, or Vanessa Angel's character, who runs this demonic toy factory. They go to stop her. You know, the puppets and the demonic toys have it out, blah blah blah. End of story, everybody lives happily ever after. Now they do have this thing where they're trying to make like Corey Feldman, this really, like, there's this cop and Vanessa Angel who both want him. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Anyways, the cop lady, the woman that's supposed to be the sergeant, it was just laughable because she don't have a partner, and she's like, she doesn't know how to carry a gun. She really don't know what she's doing. It was laughable. It was her as a cop. It was just hilarious because it was pretty pathetic. The acting was, even for Corey Feldman, it was bad. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but it just kind of surprised me that Corey Feldman would. It was supposed to be a comedy, kind of a spoof on it, but it was bad acting, really bad. I almost couldn't watch this movie. It was so bad. But anyways, definitely the only reason, thumbs up, thumbs down. It was, you know, almost not even worth a one-time watch. It was pretty bad. Unless you're really into these movies and you want to see the entire, you know, set, you know, otherwise I wouldn't even bother with this one. It was pretty bad. It was cheesy and lame as hell. Okay, that's all I have for you this week. Tune in next week. I'll try to watch a couple more Puppet Master movies and get them knocked out of the way. If you could think of anything that you would like to comment on from earlier I said in the video, please leave your comments down in the comment section down below. If you have any suggestions of underrated films or movies you think I may never seen or heard of before, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.